Hello everyone, and welcome back to History of the Ancient World. Today, we're embarking on a journey back in time to a sun-scorched land nestled between two great rivers, a land the ancient Greeks called Mesopotamia, meaning the land between the rivers. This is where our story begins, in the Fertile Crescent, the cradle of civilization itself. Imagine a world thousands of years ago where the Tigris and Euphrates rivers flowed, bringing life to an otherwise arid landscape. It was here, in what is now modern-day Iraq and parts of Syria and Turkey, that some of the first cities in human history rose from the dust. This wasn't just a place, it was an idea, a grand experiment in living together, in building something greater than any single person could achieve. The story of Mesopotamia is a story of firsts. The first cities, the first writing system, the first laws, the first empires. It's a sprawling epic. And it all starts with a group of ingenious people known as the Sumerians. Around 4000 BCE, they settled in the southern part of Mesopotamia, a region they called Sumer. Life was tough. The rivers could be unpredictable, bringing devastating floods one year and crippling droughts the next. But the Sumerians were innovators. They learned to control the water, building intricate networks of canals and irrigation ditches to channel the river's life-giving power to their fields. This agricultural revolution led to a surplus of food, which was a game-changer. For the first time, not everyone had to be a farmer. People could specialize. They became priests, artisans, soldiers, and scribes. This specialization was the spark that ignited urban life. And what cities they built! Cities like Uruk, Ur, and Eridu became bustling centers of commerce, religion, and culture. Picture this. Towering ziggurats, massive step pyramids, reaching towards the heavens, with temples at their peak dedicated to the city's patron god or goddess. These weren't just religious structures. They were the heart of the city, centers of administration and economic activity. Priests, who were seen as intermediaries between the gods and mortals, held immense power. But perhaps the Sumerians' most enduring legacy is the invention of writing. As their society grew more complex, they needed a way to keep track of goods, record laws, and communicate over long distances. So, they developed cuneiform, one of the earliest known writing systems. Using a reed stylus, they pressed wedge-shaped marks into wet clay tablets. It started as a simple system of pictures, but it evolved to represent sounds and abstract concepts. This leap in communication was monumental. It allowed for the recording of history, literature, and scientific knowledge. It was the birth of recorded history itself. Thanks to these durable clay tablets, we know so much about their lives, their beliefs, and even their complaints. We've found tablets recording everything from epic poems like the Epic of Gilgamesh, one of the world's first great works of literature, to a customer service complaint about a bad copper shipment. As the Sumerian city-states grew in wealth and power, they also grew competitive. They fought over land, water rights, and trade routes. This constant conflict eventually paved the way for a new political idea: the empire. Around 2334 BCE, a man named Sargon of Akkad rose to power. He wasn't Sumerian, but he was a brilliant military strategist and a charismatic leader. He conquered the Sumerian city-states one by one and united them under his rule, creating the world's first known empire, the Akkadian Empire. Sargon's reign marked a shift, bringing different cultures and languages under a single, centralized government. Though his empire would eventually fall, the precedent was set. After a period of revival for the Sumerians under the third dynasty of Ur, another powerful group emerged from the city of Babylon, and with them came one of the most famous names in all of ancient history, Hammurabi. Ascending to the throne around 1792 BCE, Hammurabi was not only a skilled conqueror who expanded his Babylonian empire throughout Mesopotamia, but he was also a masterful administrator. He is best remembered for his famous Code of Hammurabi, a set of 282 laws inscribed on a massive stone stele. This code wasn't the first set of laws, but it's one of the most complete and well-preserved. It covered all aspects of Babylonian life, from commerce and property disputes to family law and criminal justice. The laws were guided by the principle of an eye for an eye, a tooth for a tooth, but the punishments often varied based on the social status of the perpetrator and the victim. It was a complex system that aimed to bring order and justice to his vast empire. The very act of carving these laws in stone and placing them in a public square for all to see was a powerful statement. No one was above the law, and justice was a right for all citizens. Mesopotamian civilization didn't stop with the Babylonians. It was a crossroads of empires. Following the Babylonians, the region was dominated by the formidable Assyrians from the north. The Assyrians were renowned for their military prowess and ruthless efficiency. They built a massive empire through conquest, using advanced siege technology, iron weapons, and a highly organized army. Their capital cities, like Nineveh, were filled with magnificent palaces, decorated with intricate carvings depicting their military victories and lion hunts. The Assyrian kings weren't just warriors, they were also patrons of knowledge. King Ashurbanipal's library at Nineveh was legendary, housing a collection of tens of thousands of cuneiform tablets on every subject imaginable, from literature and medicine to astronomy and mathematics. It was a conscious effort to preserve the accumulated wisdom of Mesopotamia. But the Assyrian rule was harsh, and their many enemies eventually united against them. In 612 BCE, a coalition of Babylonians and Medes sacked Nineveh, bringing the mighty Assyrian Empire to its knees. This led to the rise of the Neo-Babylonian Empire and its most celebrated king, Nebuchadnezzar II. He is famous for transforming Babylon into the most magnificent city of the ancient world. The legendary Hanging Gardens of Babylon, one of the 7 wonders of the ancient world, were said to have been built by him for his homesick wife. He also constructed the colossal Ishtar Gate, a stunning gateway adorned with brilliant blue glazed bricks and depictions of dragons and bulls. It was a period of incredible architectural and cultural achievement. Beyond their empires and laws, the people of Mesopotamia were brilliant thinkers and observers of the world around them. Their understanding of mathematics was incredibly advanced. They developed a base 60 number system, which is why we still have 60 seconds in a minute, 60 minutes in an hour, and 360 degrees in a circle. They could solve complex algebraic equations and calculate the area of irregular shapes. Their astronomers meticulously mapped the stars and planets. They could predict eclipses and created the first zodiac. This wasn't just for curiosity. Their religion was deeply tied to the celestial bodies, which they believed were deities influencing life on Earth. Their knowledge of astronomy laid the groundwork for the scientific traditions that would follow in Greece and beyond. The legacy of Mesopotamia is all around us, woven into the very fabric of our modern world. From the way we measure time, to our legal systems, to our foundational stories and myths. This land between the rivers was a crucible of innovation, a place where humanity took some of its first giant leaps forward. The cities are now ruins, the empires have turned to dust, but the ideas born in Mesopotamia endure. Thank you so much for joining me on this incredible journey to the cradle of civilization. It's a powerful reminder of how the echoes of the past continue to shape our present and future. If you enjoyed this exploration of ancient history, please give this video a thumbs up and consider subscribing to the channel. Don't forget to hit the notification bell so you won't miss our next adventure into the ancient world. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.